Welcome to Horton Implants Oral Bites with your hosts, Kate Bootman, Will Murphy, and Carl Horton.
Yeah, Will struggles with it a little bit occasionally, as you can see.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Oh, that's good.
Brilliant.
I thought I wanted to do something
Will.
like that, but then I said I don't want to be.
Oh, we should have.
We have Santa Claus as well,
How
and
am I going to
I've
keep
got-
a straight face?
I've got
What
my
have you got in
Christmas.
your head?
It's my Christmas pudding.
Excellent.
That is fantastic. Keep Father Christmas there, Will. Right.
yeah, cool.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to our weekly webinar. We've been absent for a while. Hope you haven't missed us too much. You will see that I have the devilish duo as well. I don't know if to say duo really, because I can see one of you have got company. And we're not talking about you, James, either. Carl Horton, good evening.
Hello.
Will Murphy, Santa, good evening. And James, a massive, massive hello all the way from Italy. How are you doing?
Hello, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Fantastic.
Good.
Yeah,
We're
thank
going
you,
to have
James.
Finally the week. The week is finished, and we can finally relax in front of a glass of wine that we earned, I think.
Yes, yes. A bit of responsible drinking. We always support that on this podcast.
James, we're going to have a lovely chat with you in a moment. We're really looking forward to it. What I'm going to ask first, and for the last time this year, boys, I want to have a chat about your week. So Will Murphy, with that amazing Christmas tree background, how has your week been?
Well, it's been a couple of weeks, hasn't it? I think
It
since.
has. If you're going to tell me what you've done for 2 weeks, I'm going to be very impressed.
So, starting day one. Sorry, is this is the half-hour version or the 2-hour version? So, yeah.
We'll pop back in a bit, James.
There has been quite a bit of responsible socializing, should I say, because like in the last couple of weeks I've managed to meet up with my old university mates who were sort of around and about, one who had flown in from Singapore, so that was good. All met in Oxford, and tried to relive the glory days. Failed miserably, obviously, but we did our best. That was very nice. Then I had another meet up with my old rugby friends. So again, more responsible drinking and socializing. Then I was down in London with some of the tutors who I used to do the FGDP diploma with. So that was very nice restaurant, which I can recommend if anybody likes sort of like a Japanese fusion type thing, called Zuma. It's absolute winner. Probably one of the best meals out I've ever had. So there you go. We do food critics as well as dentistry. We'll cover all bases here. And I guess I've done a bit of dentistry as well. So usual thing. Plus I've gone from the old analog dinosaur to using my intraoral scanner. Woo!
Hey.
So yes, now I've entered the field of digital dentistry. Taken a whole ton of digital impressions, fitted a few things which have all been very nice, and yeah. So do you know what? And the other day I had to get the old Impricam out, and I felt a bit grumpy. I was just like, oh, I don't want to use this. I want to use the new toy. So so there you go. It's been quite good fun the last couple of weeks.
Excellent.
Fabulous. Oh, brilliant. I'm very pleased to hear that the Tecnoss is not sat in a cupboard somewhere, Mr. Murphy.
No, it's getting used all the time now.
Fantastic.
That's good to
You
hear.
sound like you've had a very busy
Well, I did have to
busy.
call Carl for a few technical issues. You were very, very helpful. So he's my guru. He's the go-to man who gets called any hour, day or night. He's told me 24 hours a day, 3 a.m, I'll be there texting him. So so there you go. That's me.
Excellent.
Fantastic. Carl Horton, if you're brave enough to do 2 weeks, let's do this. But if not, let's just go with this week.
Oh, it's real simple for me. I've got no friends, so I haven't socialized at all. So not a problem. And I've done a few implants. Yep. There we go.
Tick.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe you can
okay.
talk about 3 weeks then.
Oh, yeah.
What about the week before?
Do you know what? Do you know what, James? It's been one of those mad. We were talking a little bit about preparing for Christmas, and you said about the wine and things like that. And
Yeah.
last night there was a running social, and a colleague of mine brought mulled wine for everybody, so that was nice. Everybody's getting into the Christmas spirit. We've had a few parties, like Will mentioned, so there was a few interesting timings on the food, and I think people were thrown out. So yeah, I think a few people had to stand in the cold for a few hours waiting for taxis.
Oh.
But it's not
Good.
snowing, so they should be okay. Well, I think the snow had melted by this time. But yeah, just lots of scanning, Will, lots of implants going in, and staying in, thankfully.
That's always good.
And some big repair cases. So quite nice kind of rebuilds that we've done over the past couple of weeks. But yeah, and you think at Christmas time that things would kind of slow down and that you'd be doing kind of less surgery as you kind of get towards Christmas, because not that it ever happens very often, but occasionally you'd get a little bit of a problem, and it's usually on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. But no, we're still getting people booking in for surgery next week.
Same here. Next week. Yeah,
they're mad. You're mad.
I know.
You should have a rest.
They they all need a full pair of new teeth to eat.
This is it.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah, a lot of
turkey with.
panettone.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I'm getting hungry now, James.
Oh, don't. James and I were talking off air about food, so let's not start.
No, we can.
So everybody, you'll see that we've been joined by a fantastic guest this evening. James, thank you so much for joining us. As I say, all the way from Italy. You work for Tecnoss, and we're hoping that you're going to share a bit of insight of your journey and a bit about the company, if that was okay.
Yes, of course. First of all, I want to start saying it's a pleasure to be here today and speak with you. Thank you, everyone. And as Kate was already anticipating, I'm working for Tecnoss Dental, that it's a distributor company of the Osteobiol product line of xenogenic, collagenic products that are used to achieve gutted bone regeneration, gutted bone and tissue regeneration. And Tecnoss is actually the manufacturing company. Everything started with Dr. Giuseppe Oliva, who was the founder of the patent of this manufacturing process that gave rise to these incredible biomaterials. And this journey started in 1995, so more or less 25 years ago. And since then, we had really nice feedback from the field since we started 20 years. I say we started, but I've been working here for only 2 years, but it feels like home. They're so nice, and it seems like I've been working here for many years.
You probably weren't born 20 years ago, were you? You're
Sorry?
too young.
Yeah,
You're too young.
I have some white hair. You can't see them.
Yeah, but you've got hair.
Yeah,
hair,
make the most of it.
35 years old, so actually I was finishing my high school, but he was already patenting the manufacturing process. So he started with this patent, and since then they created this Osteobiol product line, as I was saying, and now Dr. Davide Oliva, that is his son, is the CEO of the company, since Giuseppe is leaving more space to operate to his son. And I take care of the I'm responsible of the scientific marketing of the company, and also the regulatory aspects of it, because you know that we distribute in more than 17 countries all around the world. So every country has their needs. So it's quite, as you might understand, it's quite difficult sometimes. You know, always trying to solving problems all around the world. But since technology is getting higher and better every day, it's getting more simple for us. And of course, the part I mostly prefer is the scientific part. So all the things that are in regard to publications and research. Since I've studied, but I forgot to say that I'm a biotechnologist, and I have my degree, the second degree in imaging biotechnology. So I really love science, and this is why I started working for Tecnoss Dental, since it was at the beginning was a startup, scientific startup, and they started with few publications. No one knew about these products. So the novelty of having a biomaterial that was capable of maintaining the collagen that is really important is being demonstrated with many publications, that is so important to have the formation of new bone, since not always is easy to place implants, even if you have great hands. Surgeons have great hands, but sometimes you need the help of Mother Nature, and you have to give the time to rebuild bone, and then you can place.
I was going to ask, James, there's obviously lots of companies, biomaterial companies out there. How does your company set itself apart, or how do you try and differentiate yourself from other similar products?
Actually, it's really easy for us, since the only really difficult part is to make people understand the scientific background of our products. So at the beginning, there was just an organic bovine bone that used like as a scaffold, and they were trying to, with this scaffold, to rebuild bone. But obviously, a human body is not able to rebuild without a help. So what happened is that Dr. Giuseppe Oliva thought that the best thing to do was to try and recreate nature, and what was nature doing. So he understood the process, and once he understood the process, he mimicked that process, keeping all the molecules inside the bone, because people think that bone is an organic system that just keeps there, and the only meaning of it is, you know, to give you the possibility of moving and the resistance. But it's not only that. We have a lot of molecules inside, a lot of proteins that are the organic phase of the bone. They are really important. So when you need to have a bone remodeling, you have to keep this in mind. And if you, thanks to your manufacturing process, lose all of these molecules, because of course when you heat the biomaterials, the process usually was to heat them with really high temperatures, and this of course makes you lose all the organic phase. All the proteins are degraded, whereas the calcium, the phosphate, the inorganic part is still there, and it's the scaffold that then you will use to achieve the remodeling. But thanks to this new osteobiol manufacturing process, the collagen was kept, since we know that collagen is one of the most important protein in the human body. It accounts for at least 25 to 35% of the whole proteins in the body. So it means that it's a really important.
And how do you keep it?
How to keep
Come on, tell us the secrets.
Even if it's Christmas,
It's like
we won't tell anyone.
Yeah, not that good. It's I'm gonna lose my job actually, and then you will have to.
Yeah. Tell us off air.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
no,
we might be
No
found
one is
dead
hearing.
somewhere.
I can just tell you, it's a secret. It's gonna be just our little secret.
Yeah.
So the thing is that they don't use the high temperatures. Then there is a biochemical process that, of course, even me, I don't know which is the specific process. It's kept secret, even for us Tecnoss Dental, that we deliver. And
It's like Coca-Cola.
yes, actually yes, but it's not as good as it. Coca-Cola is nice to drink. And actually created Santa Claus, so it's even better.
So James, you mentioned about your imaging background. Do you do that with Tecnoss as well? You'd look at the imaging. When you talk about the imaging, what sort of imaging are you looking at? Are we talking electron microscopy or?
No, when I was at my high school and university, sorry, I had my degree in molecular imaging. So all the imaging relied to the discovering of particular molecules you were interested in, like ecographies, like magnetic resonance, like electric microscopy as well. There's lots of techniques. So you study the physics beneath the process that you're interested in, and then you use the particular tool to find out what you're interested in. So in my field here, actually, there's the CBCT that you make. This probably is the most near tool that I studied in my background. But actually, I'm not a dentist, so I do not use them.
But you're looking at the images of the bone volume then once you've used the product and you're just comparing that. Is that what you're doing with Tecnoss?
No, actually, yes, we do that. We do that when we have to, when you have the publications.
Yes,
so we have, like, let's say we have a new product and you have to demonstrate that this product has a new bone regeneration volumes, and we have histologies. One tool that we usually use is the histologies. You get the fresh tissue, and then you make measurements on the morphometrical measurements in the tissue. So you see the amount of particles that they are still in after an amount of amount of time. Then you measure, for example, the new bone. This is the things we usually take in consideration when we want to address the ability of our products. It is for the first things, at least. Then we have many other tools, but this is the most reliable. We usually.
So back in the day, because obviously we're quite long in the tooth now, me and Carl. Some of the biomaterial company, not you, obviously, Kate, very young thing, not like us old crocs here. But I remember when the discussion on biomaterials from another well-known company was very much, the claims would be that the biomaterial would turn over and be replaced by host bone. And I think after sort of 10, 20 years, everybody knew full well that this is just not the case. So actually that kind of became a selling point, that the biomaterial isn't going to turn over. So it's going to stay in place and it's going to be surrounded by host bone. And then from that, you get the discussion on what is osteoconductive or osteoinductive, or can you get a biomaterial that has osteogenic potential? So where do you see your product fitting into this debate?
Yes, actually, the goal would be a product that is 100% similar to autologous bone. But actually, the knowledge now today is not able to give us those results. Of course, we try to mimic at best those type of material. Our product, I think we are one of the cutting edge company nowadays, because I was trying to say, but then I've lost myself. But the really difficult part of our company is to make the people understand how does bone remodeling works, and why is our biomaterial that has the anorganic phase because I forgot to say that the most important thing is that our products are considered dual phase products. This technology, why is called dual phase products? Because we have dual phase, of course. Inorganic phase, that is the bone, the hardness of the bone, where it relies on like calcium, phosphate, the inorganic part. And then we have the organic part, that is the new step forward to get to the autologous bone that is capable of collagen is responsible of the attraction of osteoblasts that are the first starting cells that are able of creating new bone. So collagen is able to recruit. It has been published. There are many publications nowadays that is fundamental to recruit osteoblasts, and osteoblasts are capable of remodeling of bone tissues. So this is really important. We had for many years many big companies that had anorganic bone in bone, and as you said, you don't have a lot of turnover. The biomaterial remains there, and just like little stones, and you're not gonna achieve great results from them because the implant will not have a great stability, because we know that when little stones stay there and the tissue is not natural, you will not have the possibility to achieve also angiogenesis. So you won't have new vessels. So without any new vessels, you won't have no nutrients, oxygen, and the tissue will stay not alive, dead. Just having stones to replace natural tissue is not good. And so collagen is fundamental for this, for angiogenesis, for bone remodeling, for recruitment, for differentiation of mesenchymal stem cells. It's just, I would say it's the future. And we can see that it's not because I work in this company, we see it because from the field, we have many companies that are trying to mimic our products. We have nowadays many companies that are adding to their products collagen, lyophilized collagen. But unfortunately, adding lyophilized collagen inside the products does not give the same effect, of course. Whereas keeping the natural collagen from the start, you add lyophilized collagen that is used for giving a more stickiness product. It's easier to handle, but that is not the point when you're talking about osteobiol products. We're using it because we want to mimic nature and we want to give a better result. And so I think, again, well, it's probably where I would bet, if you ask me, is the leading company. It will be, at least.
Yeah. I mean, getting something with sort of osteogenic potential would be the main goal of any biomaterial,
it's not osteogenic. I wouldn't be a liar to say our products are osteogenic. They can't.
On another note, obviously, as more and more people have implants, more and more people are going to need guided bone regeneration, but also the breadth of society means that some people will object to animal products. Do you believe you can get the same results with non-animal tissue in GBR?
Synthetic biomaterials nowadays have really difficult issues with resorption. Probably you know better than me that usually the fact that using synthetic products at the beginning was due to the fact that they were really cheap and you can have a lot of material because of course you don't need animals or humans, because we have also allograft that comes from other patients or dead bodies and whatever. You have many types of different tissue you can get from, but the synthetic one was you have two positive aspects. You have as much as you can produce, and then it's really cheap. But since we are not able to reproduce nature, at least now we don't have the technology to do it. We are not able to reproduce a perfect biomaterial like the autograft. So we have lots of problems, and you can see them while there are lots of publications that they have big drawbacks in resorption of this material. That after short period of time, you have completely loss of the volume of the regenerated area, so the implant won't be stable in a situation like that. So it's too early to talk about synthetic product for me. It's not for at least for now. At least for now, we hope that a lot of vegans will not be angry with us, because I perfectly understand that matter. But we do have. Sorry if I interrupt. We do have many countries, Arab countries, that do not use porcine materials, but we have, and for those countries we have equine products. But every country has their own needs, and you have to try and solve it as better. And we always focus on the fact that the final customer must be happy. So if
I mean, there's all sorts of cultural nuances, because I mean, in the UK, like you know, using equine to some people is like, well, no, not horses. I used to have a pony and this kind of thing, you know, and so you can sort of understand that, even though people might eat meat of, you know, only eat the animals.
I can imagine you with a pony, Will.
With a pony, My Little Pony.
Actually, I would eat a pig, but not a horse.
Yeah, well, exactly. So this is the thing, isn't it? Sometimes we only, you know, eat the animals that we don't think are cute, you know. Although I don't know how we get onto this. I was going to talk about lambs and things.
Let's not go that far. No.
There's some
we were talking about synthetic products, and then
sheep bone that doesn't work, and I can't remember what it is, but sheep bone doesn't work. But James, I mean, you're talking a little bit. You're getting onto the microbiology side of it there, and the way that the proteins work and the way that they signal, and I mean, the research that's coming out now is unbelievable. It's absolutely phenomenal what we're learning about these little signals from the collagen actually having that sort of the integrin RGD pathway into the cells, and you know, then activating the sort of the osteoblasts, and then really specifically switching them on. And you know, that to me is just, I have to learn again, because
I can share with you many publications.
Please do.
Publication you can read, and it's just impressive what a human can do. It's really
it's amazing, isn't it? What we're learning all the time. These pathways.
The goal is that to learn perfectly how a human works. Once we discover that, then we can think that we are, you know, at a good point. But first of all, we have to learn, and to learn we have to get the right technology, because it all depends on technology. But I think we will get nearer and nearer.
Yes, I think we're getting, well, it always seems to be improving to me. And you mentioned a little about usability, and I think usability, it does play a role. Bear with me a little bit. Zoom's just told me that that we've got a bit more time.
Upgrade.
Yeah, cool, nice.
Yes.
So we're talking about things interesting, even for Zoom.
But I've lost my train of thought. Sorry.
Yeah, the molecular part is the most interesting part. At the beginning, when I started in Tecnoss Dental, I started reading a lot of publications, and that was the most interesting part. But then I understood that it was difficult to, since I had a scientific background, so I had my high schools and my double degree, and I was reading, and then I was thinking, how can I make understand the people all these things without they having this background? Because that is the most difficult part. You know, it's just at the end of the day, it's all about making the people understand, and it's not always simple. This is a shame.
Yeah,
and you can see it with vaccines also today. You can see it with vaccines. It's difficult. Sometimes people that have dedicated their life, they try and explain to people who never entered that type of field, and they just they struggle because it's difficult for them, and sometimes they don't achieve the goal they would like to.
Very true. So, I thought you were going to say you can't teach an old dog new tricks then. So me and Will just disappear.
Hey, if I can use the scanner.
Absolutely.
There's hope for all of us.
No, he's learned to use the new scanner. So
I have.
All the dogs.
James, you were talking about the legal side earlier and the amount of countries that you work with. I mean, there must be an enormous portion of your time sorting the legality aspects out.
Yes. Luckily, we have lots of legal that helps us. So we have a legal department that helps us with that. I try to sort out the first line of requests. So we have the CE certificate that helps us a lot with all Europe. So usually when you have this, 90% of the work is done. And then every country, especially the ones out of Europe, have other certifications, and so they need more documentations. And for this, we try to help them, of course, because we want to distribute it all over the world, but it's not always easy. It's not easy.
Not that straightforward, I'd have thought.
You could think about FDA certificate in America. That would be the greatest goal we could achieve. But it's really, we started to understand how to do this, and it's really complicated. But I'm sure that in the future maybe we can, and I can help with this. We can achieve this goal. What happened to Will?
He's trying to find the wine.
Yeah, probably the legal aspect are not so interesting. He just collapsed.
Yeah, it happens
It's
now.
collapsed. Yeah, that's probably
About this
Will.
time of night, this happens with Will. He's just sort of like, he'll come round in a bit. He's been in an all-day drinking, James. It's Christmas time.
No, but we can start. We can go
Stop it.
back to science and marketing and
Yeah.
the evolution of our work. If you come back.
So you mentioned, I mean, your products are in 17 countries. Is that mainly Europe at the moment, or are you kind of
mainly in Europe?
Yeah,
mainly in Europe. Then we have South America.
South America, excellent.
Yes, like in Mexico, in Colombia and Ecuador. We have many countries in South America.
Yeah,
and then we have Russia, EU, and we have many Arab countries.
Yeah,
so Oman and Arabia Saudita, many countries, and then Indonesia as well. In Indonesia and Malaysia. Yeah, Singapore. We have many.
That's excellent. I appreciate your naming most of them. That's why well done. I'm impressed with that.
Yeah.
I'd have got to South America, and that would have been it for me.
Yeah.
That's like asking you how many practices we work in, right?
I've no idea. No idea.
No, we have many. I won't bore Will again with all the names of it, because otherwise
right.
get away.
Sorry, I missed that.
But
I was trying to find
after you sleep.
It's a secret code. As soon as I get boring, he will just disappear, and then I know I have to say something more interesting.
No, I'd hidden the car key from my missus, and she was trying to find it and was insisting that I found it. So there you go.
Carl just explained that you'd been on an all-day session and that you'd just crashed out really well.
Sometimes I just collapse. That's it. God.
You are naughty. You are naughty. Well, gentlemen, we're in touching distance, I'm afraid, of that old magic time. Would you believe it?
Wow. That has gone quick.
So
yeah, that was really quick. I thought it was just 10 minutes.
Wow.
And this is what happens when you come on this
we will
panel.
do another one. Maybe on Easter.
Oh yes, please, James. That'd be lovely.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
please.
James would love that. We'll make sure Will doesn't drink as much next time.
Yeah.
Or maybe we will do.
Oh yeah. Or drink more.
Yes.
James, thank you so much for joining us. We do appreciate it.
Thank you for inviting me here.
We definitely would love you back on the panel. So
that'd
please,
be lovely, please
do join us again.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, thank you as always. Thank you. Hope everybody out there has found it as interesting as we have. We'll pop a link for Tecnoss on the on Facebook, so that you can follow this wonderful chap and his company. I mean, James, how am I meant to have a straight face with these boys? Look at them. Everybody out there.
I would love to have one of those hats.
Be careful what you wish for, James.
There you go.
Oh no. Right,
Okay.
on that note, everybody out there, have a fantastic weekend and an absolutely wonderful Christmas, and we'll see you in the new year.
Yeah, have a great Christmas, everybody. Thank you again, James. See you all. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you all.